You are now tuned into Flippin' the Birds, a Philly Sports Network podcast.
What's going on, Eagles fans? Welcome all to episode 50 of Flippin' the Birds. I'm Brian Cameron. He's Chris Infante, and today we're celebrating our 50th episode. We're at the 50-yard line, the half a century mark. This is pretty dope.
Half century. Like, it's crazy. It's like I just hit I know you hit it a while ago, my 100th article writing for PSN, and now 50 episodes of this. Like, it's been if you look at the gray hairs, we've been around here for a while, and the podcast has only been a year, so yeah. It's a little more, and it's crazy. It's appreciate all of you tuning in.
Absolutely.
Cheers to 50 more.
It's tough though, because when you reach this kind of milestone, like, you want it to be something epic. Like, I think I'm two articles shy of 200, and I've been kind of stalling. So I want it to be like something good, but like,
yeah, that's me too. I had, for those of you that read my awards article, it was supposed to be one article, and Liam said, "Nah, I'm gonna break it up into 4." So like,
you got a full week of Chris.
After I was done with that article, I was at 97, and then I'm like, all right, let me try and figure out my 100th article. Yeah, and the next thing I know, I'm like, I have 101. Oh, wait a minute.
You didn't even get to celebrate it.
I didn't even get to celebrate it. Thanks a lot, Liam.
It was highway robbery. That's very unfair. Very unkind of y'all, Jay.
I gotta make sure 200 is the one.
Well,
you know what 200 will be? My recap of the next Super Bowl one.
That will be phenomenal. And ideally, that's actually be a topic of conversation today. I mean, I feel like we could just really kick back. We've had a heavy load of interviews for the past month or two. We're back to just, me and Chris on the podcast. So if you guys, are going to about to tune out. If you're not, have a nice drink, relax, and let's enjoy some Eagle talk.
Yeah, I mean, and if you've been following Philly Sports Network the last few days, there's been a lot of shit going on. So it's just, we're just gonna take a step back, and just talk birds. That's how we started 50 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're gonna do it now. So
do you remember what our first episode was even about?
Training camp preview.
Okay, it was with LJ though, right?
Yeah, no.
Was it just us or was it LJ?
I think it was just us, and I think LJ came on the second one.
That does sound familiar.
I think so. It is what it is.
That's when we had our first logo, and we were just voices behind the podcast, no video.
Yeah, we did not have video yet. We didn't think to showcase our faces at that time. Now I have all this lighting over here, and I got my mic, which yours should be arriving soon, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry. Our first episode was July 22nd, 2019 with Liam.
Okay.
Training camp preview. In our series debut, we break down training camp battle positions. Also previews the first quarter of the season with predictions and answer Eagle fans' questions. Plus, Chris gives Eagles fans a reason to fantasize over this roster, while Liam holds out hope for several outcasts, and Brian dismisses all the Jalen Mills slander.
I still dismiss all the Jalen Mills slander, and that's even with Bartridge saying that Mills was, better off being a cornerback. I still think he's going to be a nice safety. So don't kill me, John. But talking Eagles, expectations this season, as Chris glances at his wife a couple of times to smile, because he's not smiling at me. He's definitely smiling at somebody else.
No, I'm not smiling at you. I'm smiling at my wife. She didn't smile back.
Wait, she didn't smile back or I didn't smile? Because I definitely smiled.
She didn't smile back.
So you should look at somebody that's smiling at you then.
I don't care if you're smiling at me.
So over the weekend, there was some.
Hold on. Hey, did you know this is our 50th episode? Congrats. She says congratulations.
Let's recap a little bit, because in the first beginning episodes, Bree made a lot of appearances in the background. smacking dishes together in pants.
Hey, we're doing a rewind of our first episode where you were just smacking dishes in the background. It's okay. We're used to it by now. It's been 50 episodes.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk Eagles. So over the weekend, Jadavius Brown, 26 years old, announced that he's retiring because he lost his love for football.
I wish I could retire at 26 years old.
That'd be phenomenal.
That was 5 years ago, but he lost his love for the game. He Andrew Lucked it.
He literally did. And after signing that contract with the Eagles, I mean, people were looking forward to see him. As I don't know if you guys can hear the fireworks or firecrackers in the background, so I apologize for that. It's kind of weird. I mean, you signed this contract over the offseason, and I know where you abruptly lose your love for the game after the opt-out period.
Yeah, I feel like he was – a lot of people were thinking that, maybe he was thinking of opting out, and he just I don't know how you lose track of the deadline. I mean, I get that, like, that week leading up, I saw a lot of reports that NFLPA and NFL were talking about the deadline. It's supposed to be Tuesday. Now it's Thursday. But you're supposed to know these things. So maybe he's like, you know what? I'm done. If he would have opted out, he would have got his deferred money for next year. I'm sure if now that he's retired, I don't think he doesn't get that money. So maybe he's saying, you know what? I was going to leave anyway, so might as well just leave. Not a big loss at all.
It really isn't, though. Like, it's not a significant loss. I mean, he's just another young guy in a young group that the Eagles don't really value much.
Yeah, which sucks, but we've talked about that many times. It's people thought he signed a contract $998,000, which is relatively high for a guy who played of his playing history. And people, I didn't think he was going to make the roster. Maybe he knew he wasn't going to make it, so why put himself through a COVID training camp? And I was like, you know what, I'm going to get cut anyway. So
I thought he would make it just because he has the veteran experience. I mean, not so much playing, but he's had a couple seasons under his belt.
But when you have as many missed tackles as this guy has, I'm sure you don't want that veteran experience.
Which makes sense with all the raw talent that we have. Last
year in 13 games, he had 3. But he allowed 85% completion percentage in coverage. In 2018, he missed 16 tackles. So
not much of a loss.
I mean, actually, I say he missed 3 tackles last year. He only had 10 tackles total. So he missed 3 tackles on 13 attempts.
So he missed 30% of his tackles.
Yeah. So
question: how many tackles has Gary missed?
A lot. But like in 2018, Brown had 97 tackles, but he missed 16. Last year, in 2018, Gary missed 2 tackles in 2 games because he got hurt. In 2019, he missed 14.
Good Lord. Out of how many?
He had 78 tackles, so he could have had 92. He could have been close to our first 100-yard tackler since DeMeco Ryans, which is a long time ago.
I miss Mufasa.
Now he's just coaching up the 49ers' ridiculous defense.
So my question at this point is pretty much, I mean, it's not even such a question. Gary's going to be the lead linebacker because the Eagles are going to have this defense where it's full of versatile defensive backs.
It's going to be pretty much nickel and dime
that's pretty
all
much
the time. There's going to be no base defense. It's probably going to be maybe at most 10% of the season.
Which is why they drafted Davion Taylor, because of his crazy speed and his crazy athleticism. It makes sense.
Yeah, and he's new to the game, relatively new to the game. He just started playing in college. So he's really raw. He's really fast. There's a viral video of him chasing down. I forget who they were facing, but they were down by like 30 points, and there was another breakaway run, and he was busting his ass to go get that guy.
The kid's fast,
and he's fast. It kind of reminds me of me, actually.
I would love to know how. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. Come on.
8th grade defensive.
Before anything, how many years ago?
A lot.
Okay. Go ahead.
At least
Carry on.
17,
Damn.
18 years ago. So, so I'm on defensive line. Actually, no, sorry, offensive line. I'm on an offensive line. Tackle.
Okay.
Can't remember which side. We're on the goal line, 1 yard line. Quarterback gets snapped. He fumbles it. Cornerback comes in, scoops it up, books it, and the cornerback. And it was an inter-school game, so it was like a blue team versus whites or whatever. Cornerback is one of the fastest kids in the whole school, and everybody just like stops, except for me. I bust my ass and I run down and I tackled this kid. I mean, he probably slowed down because he didn't think anybody was chasing after him, and I tackled him on the 5-yard line. From the 1 yard line on our side to the 5-yard line on the other side, I checked them down and they didn't score. So
now we know what to expect from Davion Taylor.
There you go. I was Davion Taylor before Davion Taylor was even born. So
wow. That's a hell of a statement.
There you go.
That's a very, very bold statement.
I'm happy to pave the lane for you, Davion.
So now we have a very young core is Davion Taylor. I'm not going to include Gary in this because as much as we're going to talk about linebackers, and then at the end of the day, Gary has Short's trust. He's going to show up. He's going to be the main guy, unfortunately. But we have Taylor. We still have Singleton, who me and you saw close up, and he's
an animal.
He's a monster. Him and Edwards are monsters.
He's an absolute animal.
We have T.J. Edwards, who should be.
T.J. Edwards is going to be the starting Mike.
He definitely should.
He is. He's a stud. He's an undrafted free agent stud.
Yeah.
We don't know why he didn't get drafted. I think it's medicals. But he was a absolute stud.
He's a steal. And we have your favorite Eagle, Sean Bradley.
I can get into that.
So it's a very raw group. I mean, outside of Edwards, who has that 1 year experience, I'm fearful that Shorts is gonna be his own worst enemy. I mean,
I know he's probably gonna play more special teams, a lot more special teams. You got Duke Riley there too.
You do, and who's actually been showing leadership among the
and people have been praising him. You know, he's gone from the stupid Falcons video where he was front and center of that stupid ass dance after the Falcons beat the Eagles, and then he gets traded to the Eagles and it's all awkward, like, oh shit, you know. And they love him there, which is great. He's the new Brian Bremen
on defense now this year.
It might be the fact that he might be by default, because really you look at the linebacker. If Brown was there, I thought he was going to get cut.
Really?
But last year, I'm trying to think of how many linebackers they held on.
Why you looked that up? Why did you think Brown was going to get cut?
Just because they don't value defense, the linebackers. So
Dave Spadero actually put out an article. He subliminally said it that Eagles pretty much don't value these guys.
No, I don't get it. It's ridiculous. Last year, let's say December 2019, their depth chart was KGH. They had 6. Grugier Hill, Bradham, Gary, Riley, Edwards, and Singleton.
I'm a little disappointed that they didn't keep KGH. I know he's got injured.
Yeah,
several times.
And there was some shit there from between the agent and the team. So
he's in Miami.
There was the bad blood there. But so you're looking at 6 that they held on to, and I think that's probably only because they didn't have the defensive backs they have now.
Correct.
To play more nickel and dime. So let's say they keep 5. You're looking at Gary. You're looking at
Edwards.
Probably Bradley. You're looking at Edwards. You're looking at Riley and maybe Singleton.
So you're practice squadding Taylor.
Sorry, no, practice squad Bradley and put in Taylor. I think Taylor plays a lot more than Bradley. Taylor's a 3rd round pick. Bradley's a 6th round pick.
I agree with that.
So they're probably gonna look at Taylor a little more. So you're looking at if they keep 6, then probably by default moves in there. And I've heard rumblings that they do like Bradley. Obviously, they drafted him, but
of course,
but you look at Gary.
It's about the story.
Yeah, like Sharif. Yeah,
another one.
We don't talk about Sharif Miller.
Can't keep you out of trouble.
I get spicy sometimes, and sometimes the spice fizzles out. And
if you don't follow Chris's Twitter, you're doing yourself a disservice because Chris really he gets into it with a lot of people.
Because what are they gonna do to me? Just gonna say they're gonna talk shit about me. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, like I was blocked by an Eagles insider, so.
So was I over the weekend.
I guess we're not worthy.
Really not.
I guess.
Shout out to Fox Gambler, by the way.
Whose qualifications are if you could use Google.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, so you're looking at Gary, you're looking at Singleton, you're looking at Taylor, you're looking at Edwards, and you're looking at Riley. With probably the first three I mentioned playing the majority of linebacker snaps. Mm-hmm. Singleton probably is not seeing many linebacker snaps, and Riley's probably not, which is terrible. Like, he should be a blitzing linebacker and rip the head off of Dak Prescott.
Yes, I completely agree with that.
So, and Riley's not going to play much either. So you're looking at Gary, Edwards, and Taylor probably playing the majority of the linebacking snaps. And then
it feels like Riley's entering that Chris Marigold's role.
Or Brian Freeman.
Yeah, as well.
So, and then you're looking at, Kayvon Wallace, Will Parks, maybe a little bit of Jalen Mills moving down in the box like Malcolm Jenkins did. So it's
it's fitting this year for Shorts. I mean, he has every possible weapon at his disposal.
If the defense sucks, then Schwartz is gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was on him all year. I was on the fire Schwartz every single week. Even in week one, I said fire Schwartz. Now that he has all of these, fucking Darius Slay now.
Yes.
He has Javon Hargrave. You have all of these. You got Vinny Curry back. All of these studs. Not that Vinny Curry's a stud, but all of these pieces now that complement each other, and we finally locked down one side of the field. Like you can argue that it's the whole that the entire side, depending on where Nick Coleman is playing. If he's playing in the slot on Slay's side, who's throwing that way?
So I have a question for you. Who's going to be the weakest link of this defense in your opinion?
Linebackers.
No, I mean like a specific person.
Oh, the linebackers. It's
all
really,
of them.
It really is. Like
you count as one.
outside of TJ Edwards, and we've been praising Singleton, but TJ Edwards is really a stud of that group.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
I'm saying something when he's undrafted free agent. And
the Eagles are pretty good with undrafted free agents. I mean, Corey Clement,
yeah.
TJ, like they're pretty.
And people really like Dante Olson. He's a linebacker.
I've been hearing a lot about him. Yeah.
They say Dave Graylin Arnold, undrafted free agent. Those of you that don't know, he was on our podcast last month, so go check that out. Undrafted free agent, so they really do their homework. And this was the draft to do your homework because of all the restrictions and training and all that.
And Graylin said that they told him they had a third round grade on him.
Yeah,
pretty key. I mean, like to know that the Eagles really thought that highly of him and actually gave him the most money, most guaranteed money as an undrafted free agent.
They do their homework, and it's a testament to their scouting department and how we forget the contracts so they don't leave. And it's going to be a fun year for the defense. But if Jim keeps putting them in positions that don't help them, then he's got to go.
So would you say, because looking at the schedule, it's a tough schedule.
It's a terrible schedule.
The Eagles' expectations, to me, they ride on the defense. The offense, they could put up, they're going to put up points. I'm not worried about that. My concern is that the Eagles' defense needs to be more than just the final 10 games. They got to be the full 16.
Oh yeah, and it's I've always felt that way. I've always done like we did a few weeks ago. We previewed the first 4 games of the season because you need to like kind of break the season down into 4s. If you go 3-1 in those quad of games, you're looking at a 12-4 season. Mm-hmm. So you have to like really do well in each good group of 4, because if you suck in a 4-game, then you're 2-2, 1-3, 0-4.
Then you're looking like the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're scraping to just get to 8-8. That's what it is. And for those of you that don't remember, we both have the Eagles going 4-0 on the first 4 games of the season.
Which we will start recapping that soon. We're just getting we're milking the time for what it is.
We're treating those udders with
due respect.
Being very, very, very gentle with them.
Speaking of treating udders.
What?
I just wanted to say that to see your reaction at the end of the day.
Treat your udder correctly by ordering from Manscaped.com. Manscaped.com.
Where they get how much off?
20% off. And get this, free shipping.
Ooh.
I will tell you, we keep harping on the free shipping because I was my friends came over on Saturday. Actually, and on Sunday morning, before they left, we were going to order breakfast to get delivered.
Wait a minute. I didn't go over your house on Saturday, so what did you
I know. I said I had my friends over.
Oh,
anyways.
Wow. You see what's wrong with that. I want you to know what's wrong with that.
I guess, you know what? There is talk about the mail service being delayed. So that there you go. Your invitation was delayed. So on Sunday morning, the delivery fee for a few bagels, was $15.
What, Uber Eats or DoorDash?
I checked them both.
$15 delivery fee?
So I said nope. So I just made breakfast here with whatever I had. So free shipping. Yeah, and you know what, guys? 2020 has been out of control.
Oh yes.
If you looked at Twitter lately, there's been showings of bombs going off in other countries, volcanoes erupting.
Yeah.
Someone messed up the timeline. If you watch the Umbrella Academy,
is it a coincidence that Endgame came out last year?
If you watch the Umbrella Academy season 2,
I've actually been meaning to watch that series itself.
They fucked up the whole timeline.
Oh, spoiler alert.
A spoiler alert. But then, if you don't think it was them, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., their last episode ever is actually on Wednesday. They fucked up the timeline too. So you got 2 places that fucked up the timeline. The whole timeline's all fucked up.
A lot of people playing with the timeline.
Yeah, you can't do that. And people thinking maybe Barry Allen went back in time and messed things up. So something's going on. But you know what? There's one thing you can control, and that's shaving your bush.
Yes, absolutely.
So Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 is a premium electric trimmer that's designed to give you a confidence boost through the body image. So if you're looking at yourself in the mirror naked and you're like, oh shit, I can't see what's going on down there, take the lawnmower, take your lawn out, and there you go. Brand spanking new udder.
I love that lawnmower. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing compares to it.
It's great, and if you're a little, I'm gonna shave my balls or anything like that. They got the Shears 2.0. It's a 4-piece nail kit. It comes with scissors for your cuticles. It comes up with nail clippers. It comes with a nail file, and it comes up with tweezers.
Tell me that's not the best nail kit you've ever used.
Awesome.
It's like from Men in Black. It's so phenomenal.
It's awesome. I tell you, I have a finger right here. I think I've said this before. I was running through the hallway in 8th grade, and I stuck as I was running out the door, someone closed the door, and it landed on my finger. So this nail came off, and it grew back. Ever since then, I've had a steel nail, and it's impossible to cut. These nail clippers, without getting without it being uncomfortable.
There's no effort with those nail clippers.
It just comes out this is great. And I'm telling you guys, and then there's their ball deodorant. If you're on your feet all day, it's a no-brainer. And they have a nose hair trimmer called the Weed Whacker. It's nose hairs. I struggle with them. My things are long. My wife tries to pluck them.
You're lying.
It hurts. I heard she goes and she's like, oh, and I'm like, what the fuck? Don't do that.
Does it bring out a little tear? Because I hate when that happens.
It hurts. So then, but I'm telling you, there's not just ball shaving things there. People hear Manscaped, I'm going to do that. Go on there, check it out. Whatever you buy, use our code. There's no minimum. There's no minimum. Yeah,
it's well worth it.
It is. It's especially, some people in Jersey right now, you may not still have power right now. So you might not have the lights to do things right now. Lawnmower 3.0 has a light on it.
Look, I'm gonna give you guys the biggest referral. If you groom yourself, you'll get an office like this.
There you go, yeah.
Your wife will give you an office like this. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
And then maybe you get some alcohol.
Exactly. There we go.
Can't really see it.
By the way, what's in your cup this podcast?
Got some Michter's Kentucky Rye.
Okay.
Yeah. Just reminded me. I gotta refill.
Yeah, I'm a little fancy. I have some triple swirlpool from Brick City Brewing, local. I think they're out of Little Ferry, New Jersey.
Brick City's pretty good.
This is actually the best beer I've had from them. I'm not gonna lie.
City's pretty good. We'll talk about beer a little later. Anyways.
So back to the linebackers. I really don't see we can break them down, but I don't see a linebacker outside of Edwards, Taylor, and Gary really getting any snaps going forward. Because they have Will Parks, they have Kayvon Wallace, they even have Jalen Mills who could play at the line. So going forward, I mean, this is going to be a defense that's pretty much revolving around the defensive line and the defensive backs.
Yeah, we're going to see. This is why I think Kayvon Wallace has a sneaky shot at defensive rookie of the year, because he's going to be on the field all the time. You know, and he was PFF's highest graded coverage safety, highest graded tackling safety.
Their biggest steal in the draft as well.
Biggest steal in the draft. So if you have Kayvon Wallace out there roaming the field, you know, keeping up with the likes of Lamar Jackson, who he said never got to play, but he's looking forward to it. Even though they were in the same conference. Likes of Kyler Murray. Likes of Dak Prescott twice.
Can we talk about Kyler Murray really quick? Do you feel like he's a little overrated?
Yeah, I hate how quickly every other quarterback gets hyped up. You know, like Lamar Jackson is apparently. I mean, I know he was MVP last year. I get it. I understand. I get it. But Carson Wentz was on his way to MVP status in 2017, and now that was a fluke.
Apparently so.
That was a fluke. You know, and Kyler Murray was just a rookie last year. Offensive rookie of the year. I get it. And he was a great season. And I still think Miles Sanders should have won. But it's a quarterback. It's a quarterback.
Yeah, it's a quarterback.
Every MVP and Rookie of the Year is quarterback award. Offensive Player of the Year is more of a wide receiver award. But whatever. Kayvon Wallace. I just went back to Kayvon Wallace. Kyler Murray. Great quarterback, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie. He has all the tools around him again.
Yeah, I don't see what the big deal about him was.
He has Kenyon Drake. He has D-Hop now.
He
still has an offensive line that lets everybody in. There's no cover at the doors of the Cardinals' offensive line. They let everybody in.
But he has the receivers that could make up for that issue.
Right. You know, so it's like he has the receivers and a shit offensive line, and he can still get it off. Whereas last year, Carson had an elite offensive line and shit wide receivers. So no matter how long the offensive line was holding for him, he had no one open. So that's why he was always sacked and holding the ball too long. Kyler Murray can hold the ball for 1 second and get it out. He's completing it. So let's pump the brakes a little bit.
And just to put this out there, Carson Wentz, 4,039 yards.
Yes.
Kyler Murray, 3,722. Carson Wentz, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Kyler Murray, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I don't want to hear it. At the end of the day, I really don't want to hear it.
I think even when – I'm not saying if. When Wentz wins the Super Bowl, it's going to still be there. They're going to say, let's say Alshon Jeffrey catches 3 passes for 80 yards in the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for Alshon Jeffrey's 3 catches, Carson Wentz wouldn't have done anything.
I don't want to hear anything.
They're going to find anything.
Yeah, it's wild. And Wentz is such a he's a rare specimen. I mean, I put him up there with Mahomes and Russell Wilson. Lamar Jackson still, to me, has more to prove as a quarterback than as a playmaker.
Lamar Jackson's an athlete. He's a very good athlete. He's an athlete who can pass. I struggle to say He still needs improvement as a quarterback because he just threw for 36 touchdowns last year, which led the league only to 6 interceptions.
He's not a bad quarterback. Don't get that from what I'm saying. I'm just saying
the fact is,
yeah,
he had 36 touchdowns, but he only averaged 208 passing yards per game. So a lot of his touchdowns were pretty short.
And I feel like, teams didn't really know how to game plan for what Baltimore is going to bring. I mean, which happens every year. Like, teams don't know how to game plan for certain quarterbacks.
Their offense is when the Eagles play the Ravens, it's going to be ridiculous. Like, trying to keep up with them. Yeah. Because it's October 18th, so it's not going to be that cold. And it's in Philly. It'll be a great game to go to. But it's like you have Lamar Jackson, you got Mark Ingram, now you got J.K. Dobbins there. You got Marquise Brown, who's the fastest person in the world. Should have been an Eagle.
He should have been an Eagle.
They took Dillard instead. And then they also drafted James Proche, I believe. Very good receiver.
He's a speed guy, right?
Nah, he's more of a possession guy, but still pretty good. Okay. He's their offense, and they have Mark Andrews, and their defense got a boost from Calais Campbell coming over.
Huge boost.
So they're going to be a really tough team. But the Eagles are going to win.
Yeah. But like I said before, it all rides on the defense. And this secondary has to show up this year, man. Like I don't think I could take another year where the secondary is like, okay, sure, we're winning, but don't worry about the secondary. Like, no, the secondary has to take over. Like, you have to own the spotlight in Philly right now. Yeah.
And if I like just seeing Slay in that video, like messing around in the locker room and all that stuff, I'm like,
it's a beautiful sight to see.
It's 2017 all over again. Like,
yes.
We're getting ready to see the celebrations again. Mm-hmm. Dances, the touchdowns.
The camaraderie is there.
We're gonna see all of that finally, and it's gonna happen. It's going to be incredible.
So let's talk about 2017. Let's talk about a touchy subject about 2017. Alshon Jeffrey. He's gonna come back to the team at some point this season. Whether it's 7 games out, 8 games out. I spoke about this on Gully Blanchard's podcast, so shout out to Ryan.
Which I still need to listen to, by the way, so I hope you didn't talk shit about me.
No, absolutely not.
So if you did, I'm coming after you.
I'm not like you. Don't worry about it. Which, by the way, yes, Chris is the best emailer in all of the face of Philadelphia Sports Network. The man has a crazy way with words. I'm pretty sure if I asked him to email one of my in-laws, he can convince them to leave the family. Which I'll talk to you about that later.
Send me the email address.
Alshon Jeffries, I'm a little optimistic about it now. Like, I could care less about the Alshon rumors. To me, it's like, if the guy has something to prove, and you could come in and contribute to an offense with Deshaun Jackson hitting and Jalen Reagor and possibly even John Hightower coming out of Woodworks, I'm actually a little optimistic to see Alshon.
If you have 2017 Alshon Jeffrey, which apparently he's ready to be better than that 2017.
He looks phenomenal right now.
If you have him, and if Deshaun Jackson's healthy, and you have Reagor in the slot.
Oh, give me chills. Hold on.
And then you have Zach Ertz.
Oh my God.
And then you have Miles Sanders. And Dallas Goedert. And then you got John Hightower coming in. And then you got Boston Scott doing a little change of pace. Like, who the hell do you guard? Like, who do you double? It's going to be single coverage on everyone.
And it's not like we have a bad offensive line either, because you can't game plan for.
If Jason Peters successfully makes the transition to right guard, that right side is locked down. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no chance of anybody getting to Carson Wentz on the right side. Yeah. Let's worry about the left side a little bit. Dillard held his own on the left side. But you got to worry still about that. But there's no one touching him on the right side.
Nope.
Like, DeMarcus Lawrence still will not have – I mean, he has 1 sack against Carson Wentz now. But he won't touch him. And I think, we're losing – people like Peters is not going to do it either. The friendship he and Lane Johnson have is like the same that Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson had.
I'm pretty sure they're preparing for this the whole time.
Yeah,
Like, there's no way they were not communicating throughout the whole offseason.
So you have that camaraderie between them two. They're gonna know what to do. Like, it's gonna help Peter so much. Not that he needs much help because he went from tight end to All Pro left tackle, Hall of Fame left tackle, and now if he solidifies himself as a really good right guard this year, it only cements himself in Hall of Fame even more.
And this could actually extend his career to a certain extent.
Yeah, but we don't want that.
Well, not on the Eagles. But I'm just saying for him, he could benefit from it somewhere else. Sam Alu's locking down the left guard. No matter
Brandon Brooks comes back. Actually, Brandon Brooks may come back as linebacker.
Dude, did you see obviously, I love women. But did you see how ripped he is? And to correct that, I love my wife.
When I saw that, he's our age. Maybe a year younger.
He's a little, yeah.
When I saw that, I looked down at my stomach.
Stop.
I was like, you know, man, why can't you look like that? and then I looked at my hand and I saw the beard in my hand. I was like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's right.
You know what it is, right. But like his career. I mean, his job is to work out and to make sure.
Right. Yeah. Like, but the fact is, like, after his Achilles injury, he was doing that in the boot. Bro. Now again,
he's a savage.
Doing that. Like, he doesn't stop. He doesn't rest.
He's a monster, bro.
And so he's gonna come back as linebacker.
Bro, he's a monster.
He's gonna go from right guard, All Pro right guard,
to All Pro linebacker.
to linebacker. He's gonna be a two-way player.
Imagine. That would be phenomenal to see. I would pay to see that.
And a new fullback. This is incredible.
So, setting expectations for the season. Is it fair to expect the Eagles to be one of the top teams in the NFC, or is it fair to say, like, look, we have a lot of young guys. Let's just play out the season. Let's prepare to contend the next coming seasons, kind of thing.
When you've won the division 2 out of the last 4 years, and you've gone to the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years, you need to be ready to keep that going.
See, that's my thinking as well. Yes,
you need to be ready to be one of the top teams in not only the division, because again, you're in a division where you're the only team with a returning head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You are one of 3 teams with an actual name. So it's it should be a slam dunk, back-to-back division titles for the first time since the Eagles did it in the early 2000s. As far as the playoffs go, NFC, it's rough. You got the Niners,
mm-hmm.
the Cowboys, obviously. You got the Packers. You got the Saints. It's the Seahawks.
I want the Saints more than anything in the world.
Yeah, I guess you could say the Rams, maybe.
It's hit or miss with them. I mean, they kind of faltered last season.
Yeah, so the NFC is rough. So it's gonna be tough to contend. Because you look at it. I forgot the Bucks. The Bucks are gonna be better. Yeah, they got Shady now. That's why they're gonna be better. They didn't get anybody else. So the Vikings are lurking there too. The Bears have Foles now.
Take the Vikings out of there. No, they lost Stephon Diggs. They have Kirk Cousins as quarterback. Get them out of there, man. Come on, stop that.
But they got Justin Jefferson.
Listen, I love Justin Jefferson coming out of the draft. Like, I was hoping he would be an Eagle, but I'm completely sold on Rager because Rager has that dog mentality.
Yeah,
like, that's what I want out of my player.
I talked to Justin Jefferson's wide receivers coach.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so and he sold me on him too. But now it's Jalen Rager.
Yeah.
And then you got the Bears. They have Nick Foles.
Do you think the Bears can actually compete this season?
No. You look at a sneaky team this year might be the Lions.
You're getting Darius Slay.
Okay, I get it.
I just had to put that out there. I mean, he's throwing shade, so I can throw shade too, right?
They have Stafford coming back.
They do.
They did not have Stafford. They have Kenny Galladay, Kerryon Johnson.
They still have Matt Jones, correct?
Maybe.
Well, I feel like the Eagles should have really signed an offseason because he would have been a phenomenal pickup for this wide receiver core.
Yeah, but and then you got the Falcons always lurk. Panthers might be better because you got Teddy Bridgewater there now.
Yeah, but there might be a learning curve there.
Yeah, but you still got CMC, Joe Brady. I wanted so bad for the Eagles, so I
remember that.
I had everybody is so caught up on Clyde Edwards-Helaire in Kansas City and what he can do with Kansas City and all that, and because of what he did at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey now has that coach that turned Clyde Edwards-Helaire into. I saw an article that Clyde he should be the first overall pick in fantasy.
Really?
Just because Damian Williams is gone now, so he's really the only main pack in the offense led by Patrick Mahomes and coached by Andy Reid. And those offenses love running backs. So in a PPR league, he's gonna get a lot of points.
So who's It's just him then, pretty much.
I forget who their backup is after that, but then so CMC has Joe Brady now. That's going to be tough. And they have a really good receiving core. Robbie Anderson is there now. You got Curtis Samuel. You got DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore.
You got DJ Moore. The defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
They might be sneaky. And then you got I hate to say this, but the Cardinals.
No, stop that. No.
I hate to say it, but DeAndre Hopkins is there now.
Yeah, but
and Patrick Peterson will be there for a full season.
He hasn't looked the same.
He's still...
Look at his numbers last season. Tell me now.
He played 12 games.
Out of 16, he still played more than half the season.
Okay, doesn't matter. He actually played 10 games. He had a 6-game suspension.
Okay.
10 games, 2 interceptions, 53 tackles. In 2018, his Pro Bowl year, he played 16 games and had 54 tackles. So he had 53 in 10 games. And a sack. So,
I'm not worried about the Cardinals.
I mean, they got DeAndre Hopkins. Kenyon Drake found really new life.
Yeah, he actually did find tremendous new life out of there.
Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, who never ages, I guess.
It's really messed up that they had Christian Kirk on the trading block as soon as they acquired Hopkins.
Yeah, which I would have taken, but I feel like in the NFC there's really 4 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's really 4 teams slam dunk. You don't have to worry about 3 teams. You don't have to worry about at all.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, the Washington team, and the Bears.
See, I feel like the Giants could be a little sneaky.
No, no, their defense is absolutely horrible.
But Daniel Jones isn't terrible.
Yes, he sucks too.
No, he isn't terrible.
He sucks.
No.
Daniel Jones sucks. The NFC East is a 2-team race right now, and that's the Eagles and the Cowboys. The Giants can maybe the Giants can maybe contend for 6 wins.
I just want to put this out there for a second. I was very heartbroken on draft night when we had the draft podcast. The moment that CeeDee Lamb was taken by the Cowboys, it broke my heart.
But you know what? He's not gonna do anything, so it's okay. He sucks,
and that's why I feel so much better about life.
He sucks. But the maybes are the Lions and the Rams and the Cardinals and the Panthers and the Falcons. The Falcons I'm going to keep as a maybe. It's a hard maybe. And the Falcons. And the Vikings. But the real contenders, I have to put the Bucks as a contender because you have 2 of the best wide receivers in the game there. With one of the best quarterbacks in the game. One of the best quarterbacks ever to one of the best tight ends in the game. I'm not saying ever right now because he's been out for a year. I don't think Gronk is going to look Gronk-esque. I don't think so either, but you're pairing him with O.J. Howard too. O.J. Howard has a chip on his shoulder, so that's what I'm scared of more. So you got offense with Brady, LeSean McCoy, Ronald Jones, no slouch. No, absolutely not. And they drafted Keyshawn Vaughn, who's a really good running back also. And you got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, you got Gronk, you got O.J. Howard. And you got the Levante David on your defense. That is a team. But here's what the Eagles have working for them. If somehow, some way, Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, and Doug Peterson can get together and find a way to bubble this team better than any other team,
Yeah, injuries piling up in Tampa Bay because Mike Evans. When's the last time he played a healthy full season?
I mean,
I know Chris Godwin missed the last half of the season.
Whoever plays a healthy season.
Well, I mean, like without missing games. I mean, Carson Wentz played 16 games.
So Mike Evans' defense last year was 13.
Okay.
Year before was 16.
Okay.
Year before was 15. Year before was 16.
So pretty much he's making me eat my words right now.
Yeah, year before was 15. Okay. Year before, and his rookie year was 15.
And Chris Godwin missed how many games last year? I feel like we have to hire somebody to do this.
2.
2?
He's only missed his only 2 games he's ever missed.
Seriously?
So, boys and girls, never listen to Brian when it comes to how many games a player has missed.
Okay, so here's my thing about next season. The Eagles are ahead of the curve when it comes to a lot of things. They showed that when they drafted Jalen Hurts, which we spoke about last podcast. I personally think if the Eagles can find some way to keep this team away from the virus, 1, and 2, I mean, they did go with Wentz last season, healthy 16 games. And he's bulked up. He looks like you right now. He doesn't look like me no more. He actually looks like you now. So it looks like he's going to be –
without the gut.
Let the guts go, man.
He's got this.
Go.
He's got this. But he thrives on elk and deer.
What do you thrive on?
I thrive on nachos.
How much is delivery fee for the nachos?
$0 because I get it from my wife's job.
So shout out to Bree for her nachos. But I truly feel like, listen, the Eagles are one of the smartest organizations in the NFL, hands down. They've always been like that. They can pull this off this season and be if not the top team in the NFC, but one of the top teams in the NFC, and that's my expectation.
Yeah, and because you got to look at the Saints. You know, you had Peyton was COVID, but they're bubbling. Peyton, right? They're bubbling right now.
Ryan used a very good word to describe Sean Payton that describes my hate towards Sean Payton. He has a very punchable face.
Oh, yeah. He has a punchable. He has a slappable face. He has a kickable face. He has a bash face into the table face.
What do you think happens if Sean Payton pisses off Jim Shorts in a bar?
He's getting thrown through a window. Like, have you ever seen those shows where those old saloons and someone pisses someone off and they just throw him through the window and he lands on the sidewalk outside?
That's Sean Payton flying.
That's probably what Jim Schwartz would do to him.
I would pay to see that. I'm not gonna lie. This is a very hostile podcast.
I'm not hostile. I'm very relaxed right now.
Speaking of relax, you know what else you can relax with?
Some beer.
Some very fresh IPAs from across the country.
Very fresh IPAs, very fresh beer, period. Very highly rated beer. Mm-hmm. And that's what you will get with Tavour. Tavour, T-A-V as in violin, O-U-R.com. They have a very great app that you can put on your phone. It sends you notifications when they get a new beer in stock. And these are beers that are rated on Untapped. U-N-T-A-P-P.
They're all higher than 4.
They are like 4.1 and above, which is if you see a beer on that app that's 4.1 and above, it is a phenomenal beer. Mm-hmm. Especially when you have reviews of like 30,000 reviews. That means everybody's rating it over 4, and it's great. It's very rare to find a 4.5 rating. Usually between 4 and 4.5 are really good beers. Over 4.5, it's actually absolutely phenomenal. But Tavour.com has partnered with us. We have partnered with them. To get you some discounts on that. They have a subscription service, which is a little on the pricey side. It's $55 a month for 6 beers delivered to you.
Well, how much do you spend on beer monthly?
Probably around that, but it's only for 6 beers. But you can buy it individually.
Exactly. That's the key thing.
And put it in your cart. And when you put the beer in your cart, it's reserved for you. You got to be pretty quick with it because there are people on this app that just want beer. You know, they want these beers. So if you stick it in your cart, it's yours until you either buy it or you don't want it. I think there's a time limit anyway, so you can't just put it in and wait a few months and get it. But if you put in our code FTB10, not TEN, FTB10
for the beer 10.
Absolutely. In the promo section. Like if you click on the app, you go onto the left side, you'll see promos. Add in our code, you'll see a little bar. To spend $25 and you get $10 off your next purchase. New users only. So I know a lot of you beer drinkers, you may have it, but
I know a lot of you beer drinkers have more than one email, so stop it.
Yeah, so you can use multiple emails. That's fine. But FTB10, put in your promo code. $25. It's easy to spend $25 in beer. Next time you go out to buy beer, you're going to spend $25. So just use this. It's going to be a much better quality beer. Stop drinking your Rolling Rocks. Stop drinking your Bud Light. Stop drinking your Budweiser.
I can't drink regular beer anymore. It's such
get your palate up.
Yeah.
Just get it up.
So just
and then after you get that up, and then make sure your Manscaped is in when you get it up later for something else.
So just to put this out there, my first IPA was actually with Chris at Chris's house.
I spoiled his palate.
You definitely did. So now that we talked about Eagles expectations, we need to talk about something that's very, very, very important that nobody's talking about. Darius Slay. What do we expect from Darius Slay at age 29? Do we expect the Slay that has shut down wide receivers? I mean, he's led the league in interceptions since, I think, 2017. He's been one of the most prolific cornerbacks. But do we get the unfortunate Eagles luck where we actually acquire Nnamdi versus Darius?
I think we are getting a cornerback in Darius Slay.
Okay.
That sees all the chatter around, where he was on the NFL 100 list, the Madden ratings. He was very vocal about that.
Yeah. By the way, EA Sports, you guys need to hit me up, please. Let's fix this.
Yeah, let's go. Especially the Miles Sanders, Darius guys.
Yeah, what the hell? Miles Sanders rated 80 under Darius Guice, who doesn't even have a team.
Yeah, Madden, you're doing a little something wrong there. But I think he's a super motivated guy. I read today that he said he's a leader, but he's not a vocal leader. He's not Michael. He's not Jenkins.
But his presence alone, I feel like,
him being there leads. He leads by example. He would go out there and do it. And I think he got annoyed at the question today. What do you say to the people that you can't? What do you say about all the missed tackles? And he got annoyed at that. He was like, next question. So he's gonna see that and be like, you know what? I'm gonna be this guy to lead by example. And I think we're gonna get
you would think change the scenery has to entice him even more. He's not dealing with Matt Patricia. This is Doug Peterson and Jim Shorts. Like this is
with the guy that drafted him.
Yeah.
And I think we are gonna get an Asante Samuel like year from Slay.
Ooh.
And just so you know, I in the history of cornerbacks at age 29, I just looked it up. The most interceptions by a 29-year-old, 10. And last time it was done, 1968.
Ooh.
Then and that was done 3 times. 9 interceptions was done 4 times. Last time was in 2012 by Tim Jennings on the Bears. 8 interceptions. Last time it was done, 1998. And the 7 interceptions has happened a lot. And the last time it happened was 2010 by 2 people, Troy Polamalu and Asante Samuel. And also the Eagles have 2 players on that list. They have Asante Samuel in 2010 and Troy Vincent in 1999.
Troy Vincent. Nice. Okay.
Also, the Eagles have a 9 interception season at age 29 by Don Burrows in 1960.
Way before I existed. I wasn't even a thought back then.
So, but the defensive player of the year in 2019 was 29. Stephon Gilmore.
Wow.
He was 29.
I did not know that he's actually 29 already.
Yeah. So 29 is the new 28.
Well, I personally think that we have the best cornerback in the NFL outside of Stephon Gilmore.
I mean,
I think
you got others. You got DeMarcus Peters. You got Tre'Davious White. You got Patrick Peterson. You got
I
Jalen
love
Ramsey.
how you, oh, damn it. I
who
thought you were taking
sucks.
them off the list. There we go. There it is. Yeah, I just personally feel like, Darius Slay is going to come into his own. The Eagles are great at helping players reach that next level, no matter the age. I mean, you've seen with Jason Peters. Jason Peters has still been one of the best left tackles in the game since God knows how long, and he's 38 years old right now. I think Darius Slay is going to be a phenomenal addition. I'm not too worried about the Namdi curse, we'll call it. And I'm actually looking forward to see who's going to be CB2, which you actually just worked on a Rasul Douglas piece.
If it's crazy to think that how a guy can go from he's gone to actually he's not gonna go anywhere. He's gonna be because in March Rasul Douglas was traded. Like people were like, no, he's gone. Yeah. In April he was gone because
and then draft
night he was gone. Yeah, we had our own rumor, that we were told that Rasul Douglas is going to the Niners. It's incredible to see the transformation because now you're seeing Rasul Douglas, who Slay said he's been working with Rasul Douglas. He's been working closely with Rasul Douglas to try and get Rasul Douglas on his mentality.
And that's such a big referral, man.
And then he's also been working closely with Rashad Whitfield, the footwork king, who we had on in June.
Who actually declared that Douglas will be CB2.
Yeah, that he said that on one side you'll have Slay and Nick Coleman locking down, and Rasul Douglas would lock down the other side. And I did write an article, looking at Rasul Douglas's issues and how he's worked on them and how it could lead to CB2. He was very low in the stance. He was closing his hips. When he would backpedal and get hit on those double moves, he would turn. If the receiver's on that side, he would turn this way to try and get him instead of opening up and be like, okay, I can go get him. So that turning right here, that receiver's already gone. If he would open, now he's with him a little closer. Not saying, and like I said in my article, not saying he would have caught him, but he would have put himself in a better position.
And there's a wild highlight video of Keenan Allen just leaving Rasul Douglas in the dust at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's a lot of receivers did that. But, hopes are high for him. Yeah, and hopes are high for Sidney Jones. Hopes are high for Vontae Maddox, which apparently he's already won the CB2 job. I think Riley McCold said that Maddox was CB2.
Really?
Yeah, so.
I missed that one. Wow.
Yeah, so, and those are really the only three going for it because LeBlanc's a slot. LeBlanc's not an outside guy.
Well, LeBlanc's not even a slot guy because they have Coleman. So LeBlanc is a –
Oh, I mean, he'll be backup slot. But.
Isn't it so, wild that LeBlanc has been such a good cornerback for them and they've never really put him on the field?
I'll keep my comments to myself because I'm not on the Cravon LeBlanc ship that everybody else is.
Okay.
Because he's a good corner, but he's not.
But that's my thing.
He's not the defensive savior that people want to make him out to be.
No, absolutely not.
When we're talking about Logan Ryan, who, by the way, his agent put out today because apparently Logan Ryan said he's a safety.
He could play safety as well, and then his numbers match up.
Logan Ryan's agent is saying he will play safety, not corner. He will play safety, and he matched up his numbers to all the safeties in the NFL, and he matches up pretty damn well with all those safeties.
Imagine having a defense with Logan Ryan, Darius Slay, Nickel Roby Coleman, and Roddy McLeod, as your veterans. That's a hell of a room.
If you want to press X right now because it's about to get rated R. Because that makes me feel a certain way.
PSN After Dark.
That makes me feel a certain way. But that's I think I want to think about how if that came to light in March when the offseason started, could he be an Eagle right now?
I don't get why they delayed that. You should have said versatile.
We could conceivably have a safety tandem of Rodney McLeod and Logan Ryan with Kayvon Wallace and Will Parks. Maybe Will Parks doesn't get signed.
Maybe Jalen Mills doesn't get signed.
Or maybe Parks and Mills are not here if that happens. and then you have Slay on one side and Nick Robo. Oh.
That would have been wild. But it might be a situation where it's too little, too late, because all the teams have established guys right now.
If something happens in training camp, that will open up.
Yeah.
But and that would have been. Oh my God.
Yeah, that would have been mind bending. And I was vouching for Logan Ryan for a long time.
Yeah. Too little, too late.
Unfortunately, I'm very unfortunate. But it's a lot to look forward to this season. I mean, with COVID, obviously, a lot of people have been feeling the blues for sports, and you have college football canceling. Eagles football right now is very necessary, and I think it's going to be a good season, but temper expectations because it's going to be all on the defense, in my opinion. At the end of the day, it's in the defensive hands.
The offensive showed that they can do it. Carson Wentz has showed that he can do it.
They can make it happen.
With no one at receiver. It's time for the defense to keep them. And that I will say there were plenty of times last year where the defense had a 3-and-out, and it was great, and the offense just sputtered.
And, I mean, the last 10 games, the defense held opponents to, I think it's 17 points a game, which is great. Because, Carson can definitely bring you to 20-something points.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a lot more than that this season.
And I will say a little tidbit before we go about Jason Peters being 38. There's only been 4 guards in NFL history at age 38 to play all 16 games.
Who's that?
4. Ethan Albright in 2009, Ray Brown in 2000, Bruce Matthews in 1999, and Ed White in 1985. One Bob Young in 1980 played 15. Gene Hickerson in 1973 played 14, and before that, 2 people in 1925 played 5 and 4. So only 6 guards in NFL history at age 38 played 14 or more games.
Wow. So we're needing Matt Pryor to be prepared.
So Peters gonna be
it's been a long season. Yeah. But I think, and how we redress, right? At the end of the day.
Always.
It's gonna be a good season. It's gonna be something to look forward to. But guys, thank you for tuning into this podcast. I mean, it's episode 50 episodes in of me and Chris just going at it with each other and going at it with you guys and going at it with Eagles Twitter and Eagles Facebook. We do want to thank
Insiders
and Eagles Insiders, quote unquote. We do want to thank everybody who understood why we were making the statements that we were making this weekend. Who stood by PSN as well, knowing that we're I don't know the words to say, but we're a stand-up company, and certain things are not tolerated.
We didn't want to jump the gun, even though everything was pretty much black and white.
Pretty much,
there's a process, and Liam handled it better than anyone else would have handled it.
Better than major companies.
Yes.
Let's just put it like that.
He didn't let us go under. He took it, and he was delicate with it, but he was firm with it. Hopefully, after this, I'm done. After when I'm done, my wife tells me the same thing about me.
One thing before we go, I mean, huge shout out to everybody that supports us, because I think me and Chris are the only Spanish guys that do an Eagles podcast and are accepted at the way we are accepted. So kudos to you guys for standing by us, for not only standing by PSN, but it's.
I want to say we are one of the I don't say few, like a lot of minority podcasts out there about the Eagles, but don't see 2 Puerto Ricans out there doing.
No, I've never seen a Puerto
or Dominican or any Hispanic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so we're just here. We're just a couple Boricuas,
Yeah, just doing our thing and talking Eagles. Guys, make sure you leave us a review. No pressure. It's well accepted. I'll be honored if you guys review us on Apple or YouTube, whatever the case may be. We see your comments, whatever you guys comment. If you want us to talk about it next pod, we'll talk about it. We'll comment back, whatever it takes.
Yeah, leave us a review. We we're 50 episodes deep and we only have 21 reviews.
Yeah, we're still there. We're still stuck there. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little deflating at times to see that, but to see how many people download it on a weekly basis is phenomenal.
Yeah. You guys download us. You guys view us on YouTube. It's great. Just leave us some comments. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, we're nice guys.
I want to argue with you.
I'm nice. Chris, I don't know so much. But until next week, guys, where we bring you episode 51 and possibly Chris has something up his big sleeves, which we will not talk about. But definitely need to stay tuned. What are you doing, man? What are you doing right now?
Nothing up my sleeves.
Until next week, guys, thank you for tuning in. It's Flipping the Birds. I'm Brian Cameron, and he's Chris Infante. And
Go Birds.
yes, sir.